you something, and I want you to really sit with it before you answer. Think about the people in your life who love you. Your closest friends, your partner, a mentor who believed in you before you believed in yourself. Now, are they the ones who tell you what you want to hear, or are they the ones who tell you what you need to hear? The people who truly love us, the ones who are really for us, they don't let us stay comfortable when comfortable is keeping us small. They say the thing, even when it's hard, even when we don't want to hear it. That's what today's episode is about, because I think we've had feedback completely backwards, and it's time to change that. So welcome back to Dreams Don't Expire, and I'm just Janae. If this is your first time here, I'm so glad you found us. This is a space for people who believe that it is never too late to go after the life they were made for. So pull up a chair. You belong here. Today we're talking about something that comes up constantly in my consulting work, in my women's group, and honestly in my own life. Feedback. But not the corporate version, not the annual review, not the compliment sandwich version. The real version, the kind that actually changes people. And I want to make a case today for that feedback. Real, honest, caring feedback is one of the most loving things you can do for another human being. So stay with me, because I know that might feel like a stretch. Let's talk about why most of us don't believe that yet. Most of us didn't grow up in environments where feedback was a gift. We grew up in environments where feedback meant something was wrong with us, with the situation. Think about it. Think back the first time somebody gave you feedback you didn't ask for. And maybe it was a parent, a teacher, a coach, a boss early in your career. And the way it was delivered or the way you received it in that moment left a mark. And here's what happened. We take that experience and we build a story around it. The story that feedback means I did something wrong. It means I'm not enough. It means someone else is disappointed in me. Feedback is something to brace for. Right? I see this all the time in the teams I work with. When I ask leaders, when was the last time you gave someone on your team a piece of real honest feedback? Not a performance review, not a check the box kind of conversation, but a real conversation. The room will get quiet. And when I ask team members, do you feel like you get honest feedback here? Like people will actually tell you the truth? The answer is almost always no. They tell me the nice things. They won't tell me what I actually need to grow. And that silence, that avoidance feels safe. It feels kind. But I want you to challenge that today, because I don't think it is. I want to talk about what it actually means when we withhold feedback, because I think we tell ourselves a story about why we didn't say the thing, and the story sounds kind of something like this. I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to damage the relationship. It's not my place. They're probably already trying their best. Who am I to say something? Now, I think feedback's different than opinions. So here's what I've learned. When we withhold honest feedback, we aren't protecting people. We are leaving them in the dark about something that is holding them back, something that they cannot see, something that if they knew, they would want to change. So think about that. If someone you cared about, a friend, a colleague, someone on your team, is walking around with something in their blind spot and you can see it and you're choosing not to say it, is that kindness or is that self-protection dressed up as kindness? I had a leader tell me once, and this has stayed with me. She said, I don't want to make her feel bad. And I asked her, how long has this been going on? And she said, almost 2 years. 2 years. 2 years of that team member not knowing. 2 years of an opportunity to grow that just passed because the conversation felt uncomfortable. Who did that protect? Not her, not really. She's still stuck. And this isn't just about leadership. This is about every relationship. The friend whose relationship is clearly hurting her and nobody will say something. The colleague who keeps making the same mistake and everyone talks about it behind closed doors, but nobody talks to them about it. The family member who can't see what everyone else can see. Silence isn't kindness. Silence is abandonment disguised as comfort. Now, I hear you because somebody is listening right now and thinking, Janae, I have received feedback that felt like an attack. I have been on the receiving end of someone using honesty as a weapon. And that didn't feel like love at all. And you're right. That happens. And I want to be clear. There is a difference, a big difference. Feedback that tears down is about the person giving it. It is about their frustration, their ego, their need to be right. It punches down. It goes for the person, not the behavior. It says, you are the problem. Feedback that builds up is about the person receiving it. It's about their growth, their potential, their future. It's specific. It's about what you observed, not who they are. And it says, I see something in you, and I also see something getting in your way, and I care enough to name it. In my last job, we had weekly leader meetings, and they always ended with feedback. You had to give feedback to everyone in the room. And the first few meetings were ugly, but then an amazing thing happened, and everyone started looking forward to feedback portion of the meeting, and it became the favorite part. We had to learn how to give it, and we had to learn how to hear feedback. In one of the first meetings, I had to give one of the leaders a disciplinary action right before the meeting. And he took the feedback portion as an opportunity to be angry. And his feedback for me was pretty hostile. And I thanked him for his feedback. And at the end of the meeting, his leaders pulled me aside and they said they wanted to talk to him about it. And I said, no. I said, we have to feel safe to offer that feedback. And it was our job to listen and see if there was any validity to what he said, to take our emotions out of it and grow from it. That was a big lesson for us to learn early in the feedback journey. Now, the other side of that was when a leader during feedback told me I was the first person to ever believe in him and how much that changed who he became. In my workshop, I teach something really simple. When I give feedback, I try to do 3 things. I named what I observed, not what I assumed, but what I actually saw. I named the impact on the team, on the customer, on the relationship. And then I pointed towards what's possible. Not what's wrong, but what's possible. Because here's the thing about real feedback. It's not backwards looking. It's not, let me remind you of everything you did wrong. Real feedback is forward looking. It says, see where you are and I see where you can be. And I believe the gap is closable. And that's why I'm saying something. I want to say something about recognition too, because feedback isn't only hard conversations. Feedback is also, I saw what you did last Tuesday and it was remarkable. And I need you to know that. That is feedback. That is equally important. And it is equally rare. So we are quick to tell people what they did wrong. We are slow to tell people what they did that moved us. So that changed us, that made a difference. Both are feedback. Both are love. I talk a lot on this show about growth mindset, about choosing to believe that we can change, that we can grow, that who we are right now is not the ceiling of who we can become. But here's what I know to be true after years of working with leaders and teams. You cannot have a growth mindset in isolation. You cannot grow in a vacuum because growth requires information. It requires someone who can see what I can't see. It requires honest reflection. It requires, feedback. A growth mindset without feedback is just good intention with no direction. Here's the other side of it. if you want someone to receive your feedback back, if you want to be the kind of person people can actually hear, you have to be someone who receives feedback yourself. You have to model it. You have to be willing to tell me what I'm missing and mean it. Leaders I've seen change teams, really change them, are not the ones who have all the answers. They're the ones who are brave enough to ask for the truth from the people they lead, from the people they love, from themselves. I want to leave you with this. Think about one person in your life right now, someone you genuinely care about who needs to hear something from you. Not something mean, not something you've been holding as a weapon, but something true, something that if they heard it, could actually change something for them. You've probably been telling yourself you're protecting them, that it's not your place, that the timing isn't right, that maybe it'll just work itself out. I want to gently ask you, what if the most loving thing you could do for them is to say the thing? So here's your challenge this week. Have one conversation you've been avoiding, not to be right, not to make a point, but because you love them enough to tell them the truth, because you believe in their ability to grow, because you refuse to leave them in the dark about something that you can clearly see. So I think feedback's different than an opinion. An opinion is, I want my voice to be heard and I want to tell you why that doesn't look great or whatever. Feedback is done in love and is saying, here's how I'm going to help your growth. Here is the thing you're not seeing, but you need to see so you can keep growing. And you don't have to do it meanly. You can say it in such a way that they hear it for the love that it is. I really believe that feedback is love, and that's what love does. It doesn't stay comfortable. It's the thing that it shows up for hard conversation. It tells the truth gently, specifically, and with the future in mind. Feedback is not the opposite of love. Feedback is love in some of the most important forms. So get out there today and give somebody the feedback that they need. Thank you for spending this time with me and for listening with an open heart, for choosing to invest in your growth today. If this episode spoke to you, I would love for you to share it with someone else who just may need the reminder that their dreams still matter. Sometimes one conversation, one message, one moment of encouragement can change everything. And if you want to go deeper, my book, Rise, Believe, Become, was written with you in mind. There is more out there for you. Your potential is so much bigger than you'll know. This is your time to find the courage to take the next step in your journey. You can find my book on Amazon. This is just Janae reminding you that no matter what phase you are in, your dreams don't expire. Until next time, keep rising.